This is CNN Breaking News.
All right, thanks so much, Brianna. I'm Frederica Whitfield. I want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world right now. We are following breaking news right now, extraordinary images right there on your screen. Huge and potentially deadly fire engulfing a luxury hotel there. These pictures show the Address Hotel. That's what it's named, the Address Hotel in Dubai. A towering skyscraper, 63 stories high there. The fire apparently starting on the 20th floor, according to eyewitnesses. The flames then moving very rapidly upward. As you see right there, some reports indicating flames from the ground to about the 40th floor, again, of this 63-story building. No word yet on deaths or even injuries or even a cause. What started this blaze? But what we can tell you is that this is happening near the Burj Hotel. That's the tallest building in the world. Many people recall seeing it in usually a very spectacular New Year's Eve display. We're 1 hour away from midnight and what was planned to be a spectacular fireworks show there. Thousands of hotel patrons there at the Address Hotel and nearby. New Year's Eve revelers all running from that burning high-rise building, as you saw in those images just moments ago, with a witness telling us that she could feel the heat on her back as she ran. So look at these extraordinary images. Someone who has an incredible vantage point right there, Bruce Shapansky. You can see right there, just across the waterway is the Address Hotel. So Bruce, from your vantage point, we see the flames, the smoke that you've been able to eyewitness, but at what point did you realize there was trouble brewing right here from your viewpoint?
It came up all of a sudden. It started pretty lower than the 20th floor, probably 7th or 8th. The flames went up quickly on the center of the building, went all the way up, probably at least over the 50th floor. It diminished a bit, but then there was a secondary from the embers. So as you can see now, from my vantage point, the left of the hotel is burning quite extensively. The exterior was what went up, probably the balconies, but now you can see there's many of the residents in a hotel. It's a combination service department and hotel, and many of those units now are fully engulfed.
Now, earlier I could see from the vantage point where you're standing clearly on a balcony, we're hearing it's a little windy there. Is that the lake that separates your unit from the Address Hotel, which would also be the same lake that separates that hotel from the Burj Hotel, the highest building, the tallest building in the world?
It is. As you can see here, Burj Khalifa is here just to my right. And it is so what you have is the Souk Al Bahar, which is a retail development that's there, and then adjacent to it is the Palace Hotel, and then of course the waterway you see here separating from my apartment building.
And tell me about what you know about the Address Hotel. We know it's a 5-star luxury hotel. We understand from eyewitnesses there may be dignitaries that are staying there, even royalty. Tell me about the attraction of that hotel.
The attraction of the hotel is, of course, one of the tallest hotels in Dubai, downtown Dubai. And of course, adjacent to the Dubai Mall. Beautiful hotel, been there for many events. Ultimately, it's a great destination, and to your point, many dignitaries and royalty do stay there. So it's probably it was a shame when I saw the fire and I knew what potentially could happen. A couple years ago, we had a fire down in Jumeirah Beach Hotel, very similar, where the exterior went up, and I just saw the same thing happening here. So,
and so we know, upwards of 1 million people would be there in Dubai for what is usually an incredible fireworks display on New Year's. Are people generally out in the streets, similar to what you would see in New York's Times Square, or people spending their time in these high rises so that they can get a particular vantage point of the fireworks?
So again, you'll find a lot of people in the residence, but as you look down, there's what they call Burj Park, and it's just probably 100,000 plus people are down there right now waiting for the fireworks to go off in the next hour. And of course, there hasn't been an announcement yet whether that will continue or not, based on the situation.
CNN talked to an eyewitness earlier who was at the address, who was at a restaurant on the ground level, and she said that the staff was amazing and they seemed to really know what to do in case of this fire. Talk to me about the concern. You're an American living there in Dubai. Your concern, or perhaps the concern of others, about the high rises there and safety and evacuations, what kind of drills perhaps happen on a regular basis even.
So in my building in particular, they do run drills on a regular basis. The unit's fully sprinklered. My unit's probably about 5 years old. It's a masonry structure, precast concrete. So I picked this because of that, and knowing what the events that occurred a few years ago down in the Marina district with the fire. And recently they had the Torch, which was one of the tallest residential towers, also had a fire similar to this. So again, you know, it is a chance you take when you live in a high-rise building. They do. Imar, who is the developer here, does a great job with regards to fire safety, with regards to the residents. And that building there is also run by Imar. So I know that they probably had extensive training with regards to fire safety.
And Bruce, give me an idea again. Did you hear anything unusual before you saw the flames? What did you experience before you witnessed the flames out of control as they are right now?
So right now, I was out on the balcony kind of watching. Actually, I had a photo of the building I took just before the fire. And, it's just kind of a sense of euphoria. People laughing, you can hear them. The music was playing. And then all of a sudden you saw the flames and everyone was focused, running, to kind of get a better vantage point. And then right now it's kind of a sense of silence out there. You don't hear anything.
And in terms of firefighting efforts, have you seen any air support, anything like that around the Address Hotel?
I've not seen, there's a few helicopters flying over, could be news crews. I've heard the fire trucks. They were well prepared. I know that from when I arrived here earlier today, seeing the fire trucks setting up just for the events. So I know that they had quite a bit of equipment here available.
Okay, Bruce Japansky, could you stand by? We want to continue to look at the image. You have an extraordinary vantage point from your balcony there. We'll continue to look at the Address Hotel. Meantime, I want to bring in one of our correspondents, CNN's Becky Anderson. She is on the ground there in Dubai. Becky, what are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Well, certainly it is, and it has been an enormous fire. We do know that there are 4 separate teams of firefighters working to put out this fire, according to Dubai's media office. And as we understand it, there are no casualties at this point. Now, the fire at the Address Hotel in Dubai broke out on the 20th floor from the outside of the building, as far as we understand it. We also understand that the fireworks, which are due to start in about 50 minutes' time, as far as the Dubai authorities are concerned at this stage, will now go ahead. And clearly the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world and right next door to the Address Hotel, is where you will see those fireworks, as you will see them in various other parts of Dubai. So as things stand at the moment, the facts are these, that the fire, it appears, broke out on the 20th floor, that there are 4 firefighting teams working to put the fire out. And at this stage, thankfully, there are no casualties as far as authorities are concerned.
And Becky, that's what's so extraordinary here, because this fire is breathtaking. It is frightening. And this is a multi-purpose address, isn't it? The Address, a hotel, is not just a hotel, but it's a residence, and there is a mall. Explain what you know about this particular building. All right, it looks like we lost Becky there. I wonder if Bruce is still with us. He's providing this incredible image from his balcony. Bruce, there he is. If you can join me again. What do you know about the use of this multi-purpose building, the Address Hotel, that it's residence, that it's a mall, that it's also a hotel?
So there's retail on the ground level, a couple of restaurants. There's restaurants within the establishment. And of course, there's service apartments. So it's a partial hotel, partial service apartments. On the top, there is a restaurant called Neo's on the 63rd floor. Adjacent to it, but not, there is a space between it, so it's not directly connected, is the Souk Al Bahar. There's residence apartments that are part of that souk. And also adjacent to that, again, is the Palace Hotel, which is a little further away. There are some secondary fires that have occurred from the embers that have fallen from the fire. You can see where they were either rooftops, et cetera, that were burning. But I believe the fire department put those out. I don't see that smoke anymore.
All right, Bruce, hold on for a moment. Again, for those of you who are just now joining us, Bruce Chapansky is an American who happens to live there in Dubai. He is in his apartment balcony just across the lake there from the Address Hotel, where it is fully engulfed in flames. A 63-story building, hotel, residence, as you just heard, Bruce, and also restaurants and shopping. With us also is Josh Gatlin. Josh, we understand you were just 200 feet away from this building when this fire started, which also is just across the way from the lake from the Burj Hotel, where the spectacular fireworks are to take place in just about 49 minutes from now. So, Josh, tell me about your experience.
Well, as a resident of Abu Dhabi, my wife and I drove up here with another friend of ours, and it's the biggest and greatest fireworks show on earth. And when you live in the area, you got to come see it. And so we chose to do that. And, you hear of the millions of people that are here and the pain that it is to get, to and from Dubai. And but we got here and we wanted to see it. And I tell you what, it's just words can't describe the feeling. I mean, at first I felt it on my back, on the back of my neck. And as soon as you feel that heat, and then you start seeing iPhones come out, and oh God, what's going on behind me? And it didn't take long. Some people sat and watched, and some people started videoing it. But I grabbed my crew and we left. It went from, it was certainly a significant fire by the time I saw it, but it went from a significant fire to that entire building is in flames, and we need to get a little bit further away from it. And
that's what's so remarkable here is that we're hearing from eyewitnesses who say within seconds the flames just traveled up that building. So that you were on the street, am I right? You were on the street on a sidewalk when you felt the heat of those flames. Did you hear anything at about the same time that you were feeling that heat?
No, actually, because this is such a big deal, obviously there are some public viewings on the street. They close off all the main streets around the Burj Khalifa and the surrounding areas. We had reservations at a restaurant months in advance. We were sitting out on a terrace, so that's basically in a building attached to the Address, and so we had to. Luckily, we were one floor up from a ground level. We could get out. We did kind of walk out of our garage. Luckily, there's no traffic. They shut down traffic at 6 p.m. There's just so many people, so many barriers. It's such a just logistical nightmare that it actually, because they had shut everything down, it actually appeared to me to make it easier to get out. There wasn't just a mad dash. It wasn't a stampede. Because of at least the logistical preparations, it appeared to aid in the evacuation.
Oh, my gosh.
At least I felt that. I never felt like I'm going to get run over.
Well, that's incredible. Yeah, because you're very calm as you tell this story. We're just now 45 minutes away from what would be scheduled to be that huge fireworks display at the Burj Hotel, which is just across the waterway from this fire underway. We understand from Dubai officials, in fact, Josh, that the fireworks display is still scheduled to go on in 45 minutes. While this fire is still underway, and you say people are very calm, there didn't appear to be running, I gather, from you or any real panic, but are you still making your way to the Burj in that vicinity to see the fireworks from the same location you had planned prior to this fire?
Negative. So I'm quite certain that I would not be allowed back to where I was. I'm now, let's say, a block and a half away. It's the tallest building in the world. You pretty much have to be I don't know, 50 kilometers away from it before you can't see it. So whatever there is to see, I'll see it from, I can't get far enough away to not be able to see. So, but no, we will not be going back where we were. It's, I would imagine that has been completely closed off. There was debris fall. It would be right under a debris field. So no, I can't imagine they're allowing anyone to go where I was.
So, Josh, you're very calm. You're very matter of.
I'm a couple of blocks.
You're very calm. You're very matter of fact about all this. But at the same time, are you concerned, fearful? Do you have any real trepidation about being there right now?
As a resident of Abu Dhabi, I can say that I don't guess it matters where you are in the world. When you see something like that, of course, your mind goes in 12 different directions. But I'm not going to speculate on that. I didn't hear anything. I saw a fire, and I saw a really big fire. And for me to speculate on anything other than that would be irresponsible. So I can tell you on the street that's my main concern. Again, I could be on the streets of Poughkeepsie. It wouldn't matter. When something like that happens, you start looking around and trying to figure out, okay, where's my exit? Where's the trouble? Where's my exit? And start looking for things that between you and the exit that could cause you harm. And there didn't appear to be any of that. Emergency personnel and vehicles moving in, not recklessly, but obviously quickly. But for the most part, it was I don't know. It worked. Mm-hmm. Getting away worked. And the thing that breaks my heart is that it didn't work for some. And I again, that's speculation on my part, but that's a big fire. And I just I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain and my heart around that part of it. So.
Yeah, this is a huge, very significant fire, and we're all praying that everyone is okay. So far, there are no reports of injuries or deaths. And looking at this fire, that is extraordinary to hear. Were you able, because you were in the proximity of that building earlier, were you able to see ambulances or anyone being rescued or the appearances of an organized evacuation? Were you able to witness that?
No, and I would say that just based on where I was and based on where the evacuation route for the address, based on how it is situated, I would think the evacuation would be in a little bit different direction than where I went. Mm-hmm. I'm certainly surrounded by hundreds of thousands of people right now that fled, that were getting away. Now, whether or not any of these people, I talked to a gentleman in a restaurant, and he says, were you at the address? He said that he spoke with somebody that was at the address. So, who knows where they went? It's a big area. God help those that didn't and that are still trying to get out. It's
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
No, you're doing a great job, Josh.
God help them.
Yeah, stick with us. I want to bring in Bruce Chapansky because it's his vantage point there on the left of your screen that we're seeing by way of his Skype. You're on your balcony there. Are you seeing anything different from your vantage point in the last, I say 6 minutes or so that I've been talking to Josh? Bruce.
Actually, yes. You could actually see the water from the fire trucks, as you can see, to the right side of the building, which is closer to Sheikh Mohammed Boulevard, but nothing over towards the Dubai Mall side, which is to the left. So as you can see, it's still fairly engulfed. Most of them now are the units burning. It moved from the balconies interior to the individual apartment / residence. I don't know where the split is between the hotel and the apartment side, but it's still fairly engulfed at this point in time.
Okay, so Bruce, are you saying that there are two towers there, like one side is residence? No. Okay, describe that for me. What are you saying?
It's split in elevation, so I believe the hotel is on the lower half and the residents are on the upper half.
Got it. And then, Bruce, you did a great job of kind of shifting your vantage point of your camera there for your Skype, where we were able to see people gathering there at the foot of the Burj. Can you show us that again and give us an idea of the perspective that we're talking about, how thousands of people, upwards of 1 million, throughout Dubai, but thousands of people there?
This is what they call Burj Park, and this is really the optimum vantage point for the fireworks. You're as close as you can be to the Burj Khalifa. As you can see, it's a little dark now. They had it lit up earlier, but again, it's the closest point, and they usually stop after 100,000 people. I'm estimating that are down there. It's quite packed, similar to what you find in Times Square. But usually it's a pretty joyous occasion. Tonight it's not.
Right. Mixed feelings now. If indeed the Dubai authorities are telling us right now that the fireworks display is still scheduled to take place 40 minutes from now, but I imagine the feelings are very mixed as you have this tower behind you still engulfed, and then just across the waterway you would have a celebratory, tone with these incredible fireworks display. Do you think at the last minute they might change their mind about that?
I have mixed feelings of whether they should have the fireworks tonight. Again, it's one of those events that is seen worldwide every year, and again, with this event going on behind, it's a sad. There was a large explosion just now.
We just saw that.
So that was probably one of the restaurants. So those buildings are serviced by LP, natural gas. So there could be an issue there.
And what's your understanding of, I know you said you have frequented the address. Are there several restaurants, throughout that building, say one on the rooftop or midway? I heard one of the patrons who was at a restaurant on the ground level earlier describe what she thought the fire to begin on the 20th floor at the mezzanine. Would the mezzanine be on the 20th floor?
No. So the restaurants are probably there's a ground floor level that would be the lobby, and that maybe a couple floors down, all the way to what would be the level of where the fountains would be, the Dubai fountains, and maybe one level up. And after that, there's all hotel and residence until you get to the very top, and then there's one nightclub restaurant called Neo's on the 63rd floor. So between that, those are all just apartments and service apartments and hotel rooms. So the restaurants are all at the lower level.
Got it.
Probably where you saw that most recent explosion is probably from one of the restaurants.
Okay, Bruce, you're doing a great job of painting a picture for us, for many of us who have not been there and know Dubai intimately. Stick with us, though. We want to continue to look at your great vantage point there of this horrible fire that has engulfed the Address Hotel, which is also a residence and a mall and restaurants, as you just heard Bruce say. With us now, also, Soon Hong, joining me on the phone. Soon, you are at a hotel in Dubai. How close to the address are you?
Yes, I'm actually at the Dusit. I'm at the Dusit Thani Hotel, and it's right across from the scene where it's happening. When I was setting up my camera to take pictures of the Burj Khalifa, I definitely heard something, and then when I looked up, the entire building was up in flames. It just happened within a few seconds, and I just have no clue as to what had happened, and the building was just up in flames in a very short period of time.
And again, your vantage point, how close? You said you were across the street?
I'm actually quite far because I am actually opposite the Dubai Mall, across the freeway. So I could actually see the entire building from the bottom to the top. So when it happened really quickly. The moment I looked up at my window, the entire building was already up in flames.
Oh my goodness. Have you seen, and we've seen various vantage points, debris, falling. It had been reported earlier from authorities that it appeared that maybe the fire started on the exterior of the building. What else have you seen that has made you take notice about this fire and the way in which it's been moving very rapidly?
It happened, I think, horizontally. It was spreading horizontally, and then there was it stopped for a while, and then it went up. But then there was definitely a bit of debris falling out. But from what I see now, it's showing no signs of yeah.
And soon, we're actually looking at video at the right of our screen now that apparently you shot and have provided for us. And I think we're now seeing exactly what you're talking about in terms of the flames being on the exterior, what appeared to be the exterior of the building as it's kind of climbing very rapidly and then presumably just spreading to the interior of that building. Would that be a good description?
I don't think so. I think it happened on the exterior definitely, because when I was setting up my camera, as you can see and from my footage, it's on the exterior. Mm-hmm. But now I think it's starting to spread into the building.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and on the left-hand side of our screen, we are seeing what I do believe to be still the live Skype pictures there on the left-hand side of our screen. It certainly looks as though, and it is indeed the case, that those flames have really fully engulfed or are the interior of that building. Have you frequented the Address Hotel before?
No, I've never been. But I've walked past it before. It's a very expensive and a high-end 5-star hotel, and a lot of people go there. And definitely during this peak period, because of the New Year's Eve countdown, and everyone is right at that area, gathering at that area to see the fireworks spectacular. So I'm guessing there are lots of people in that area right now.
Mm. My goodness. All right, Soon Hong, thank you so much. And again, thank you for your images that you also provided to us on the right-hand side of the screen, giving us a vantage point at the beginning stages of that fire. And now on the left side of the screen, the live via Skype images of that building, 63 stories tall, fully engulfed in flames. Also with us, John Delzeal. John, I understand you are at a party just about 4 miles away, and what are you able to see?
Hey, I'm at Maiden Racecourse, which is a huge racecourse just outside of downtown Dubai. Tonight, 10,000 people here. It's a sellout to see international DJ Martin Garrix perform live at midnight. One of the big selling points and the reason this event is sold out is one of the unique points of this party is that we get to see the Burj Khalifa crystal clear, all the fireworks in all their glory, and enjoy a great night out. It's probably the next big event outside of downtown Dubai, apart from being at the fireworks themselves. We were promised great views. However, just over an hour ago, it all turned into chaos here as we could see the flames come from the building next door, the Address. I just want to confirm, despite rumors, there are no flames or fire coming from the Burj Khalifa itself. It's the building next door, as you've explained, the Address. We could see the flames engulfing the complete entire left-hand side of the Address. The smoke just filling the skyline here in Dubai. And then that, in turn, setting off some of the fireworks that had been planned for midnight here. We've been told that the Address was due to be part of the fireworks spectacular tonight. And obviously the fire had set those off. And you could see debris and sparks and bits of fireworks coming from the building. And we'll be honest now, earlier on, I would say until about 10 minutes ago, the Burj Khalifa was completely lit up by very powerful lights and LED screens. They've since been turned off. However, we're being told that the fireworks will go ahead as planned. And although the chaos kicked off here at the Maiden Racecourse, security did a very stern job in reassuring the 10,000 people here that the party's okay, everybody's safe, and the party for New Year's Eve will carry on in Dubai as planned.
And John, just to underscore some of what you said, officials are indeed saying to us that the spectacular light show, the fireworks display, is still scheduled to happen now 31 minutes from now at the Burj Khalifa that you speak of, the world's tallest building. And we also understand from Dubai officials that 14 reported injuries are being declared by Dubai officials. That fire, however, still fully engulfing the Address Hotel and residents and the restaurants there. Earlier, while you were talking, John, and describing the party that you're attending miles away and that you have this great vantage point of the Burj Khalifa, and that's why many people are there, we were also looking at images of people who were being evacuated. It looked in a very, fairly calm manner, considering the volume of people who appeared to be right there. We're looking at the images right now, maybe at the lobby level. Clearly, you can see, there is some confusion that is to be expected, but you can see it also looks very orderly there. You're not hearing any screaming. You're not, looking at people who appear to be panicked, but instead following the instructions there. So, John, while you and many others, presumably thousands others, are there at that location at the amazing race course to witness the fireworks, do you feel like there are mixed feelings about whether the fireworks display should still take place with the backdrop of the address in flames?
Yeah, I will be very honest. When we could see the flames very clearly from here, I mean, I've never seen the Dubai skylight in such glory as I have from here at the Maiden race course. When we could see the flames and some sparks and debris coming from the building, it did cause a bit of chaos here at the Maiden. People did start to worry. So people started to run and head to the exit. The security calmed everybody down. I think what you're seeing on your TV at the moment is just repercussions of a planned firework display, part of which has caught fire and just had a domino effect on the building at the address. We have had unconfirmed reports that the government is sending a water taxi to the address building itself to try and help aid in getting that fire out. We've also been told that the whole area has been evacuated. Like you say, you're seeing very calm scenes there at the moment, and that's being relayed to us as you speak. People are actually heading towards the Maiden to try and join in the New Year festivities here. However, we are completely sold out here tonight with 10,000 people. The people will be turned away. They cannot come to this party. But it's a real shame for people who've come to downtown Dubai to see the fireworks. They obviously have been evacuated to safer areas. So that's a lot of people. I mean, estimated that 1 million people come to downtown Dubai to see the fireworks spectacular. It's just good to hear that they're safe. Like I said to you, what I can see at the moment, I'm looking directly at the stage which Martin Garrett will perform on at midnight. I can see the Burj Khalifa. The lights have gone off on that building. While the fire was happening, the Burj Khalifa was lit by lights, and you could see it. It was very prominent in the skyline. I don't know why, but those lights have now gone out. I will say, though, the lights at the address are still on. The lights are still on, even though smoke is bellowing from that building and causing a real haze and huge fog across the Dubai skyline right now.
John, fantastic accounts. In fact, we're looking at the left of the screen, the live picture of, thanks to our friend Bruce Chapansky on his balcony. He's showing us these live pictures via Skype. You can see the column of what appear to be lights, as you described, John, on to the right of the flames at the Address Hotel. And now we're just, 27 minutes away now from the scheduled fireworks display that would take place just across the waterway from the Address at the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. And so I wonder from you, Bruce, if you're able to hear me. It was very windy when you and I were speaking earlier, and we're seeing the billowing smoke. And in earlier pictures, we saw debris that appeared and even embers that seemed to be traveling. So what's your feeling about windy conditions and whether in any way that would impact whether it be the fireworks display or, the firefighting efforts there?
I can tell you as much as for the fireworks display, I've seen it windy and other, I've been here at least, this would be my third New Year's. And of course, the winds aren't really as much of an issue. But from a firefighting standpoint, at least that the fire was downwind. I haven't been on the other side of the address to know whether that fire has engulfed on the Dubai Mall side. But as you can see here, it's starting to wane a little bit. Most of the units now that are burning are the ones that are fully engulfed, but the exterior of the building is no longer in flames as it was earlier. And to the point, yes, the exterior went up pretty quickly. It went up all the way almost to the very top, and then from that point, then it migrated interior to some of the units. So, I don't know whether whether or not they'll have the fireworks, but if they do, the winds will not be an issue.
I see. And so, Bruce, one more time, do you mind panning over to the Burj Khalifa Hotel? Earlier you showed us that thousands of people, we're hearing numbers of, 100,000 people who sometimes get an opportunity to be at the Burj Park, and now you're showing us the tower itself. Is that right? The tower itself, where those fireworks would be kind of shooting from the side of the building, right?
As you can see here, earlier it was lit up. And they had lights similar to what you would see pointing up at the sky from the very top. The building now is dark. They pretty much have shut down all the exterior display. They have an LED display that they'll do every year at New Year's. So it's, again, pretty somber, as you can see down there.
So are you saying, Bruce, is that typically what happens? It goes dark before the fireworks display, or it's usually lit up in time for the fireworks display?
To that point, no. Normally they'll have the Burj will be lit up with various videos, etc., all the way up until the fireworks, until the countdown. And right now they've shut all the lights off on the exterior, so there is no display as they historically have done.
All right, Bruce, we're going to continue to take advantage of your beautiful vantage point there, beautiful from your balcony there of the skyline. Sadly, we're seeing the Address Hotel in flames. I want to bring in Tawfiq Rahim. He is also a witness to the fire. So, Tawfiq, can you tell me where you were and to what extent were you a witness? All right, it looks like we lost Tawfiq Rahim there. We'll try to reestablish our connection with him if we can. Bruce, I want to bring you back. We're looking still at this building that is fully engulfed. It seems like it's been at least an hour and a half or even two now of this fire burning.
About 2 hours now.
Yeah, and we understand from others that we've talked to, talking about the firefighting efforts. We heard our own Becky Anderson say that there were about 4 fire trucks there. Are you seeing or hearing anything that might support reinforcements? Earlier you said they were helicopters, but probably news helicopters. Are you seeing any fire backup air help?
So no, I'm not seeing any backup air help at this point in time. I did see, again, the water from the fire trucks on the left side, on the right side of the building here, but I don't see them now. It's sometimes a little difficult to get in back behind this area. It's not very accessible, so I believe that's why probably they haven't really been able to get any of the major equipment back into that area.
And I imagine there are 1 million people that are there in Dubai to see, some who have come from far and wide to see this fireworks display. Does it mean real gridlock? Has it been gridlock in the streets and making it difficult for fire help to get there, you think?
So they typically shut the avenues down anywhere between 4 and 6 o'clock. So it would have been easy for the fire trucks to get in. Many of the trucks were already here, and just as a precaution. So I don't think it would have been a gridlock issue other than people. And usually people move aside fairly quickly when a truck's coming down the street with lights on. So.
All right, Bruce, thank you so much. We're going to continue to look at your vantage point and bring in Diana Loesch. I understand, Diana, do you live across the street from the Address Hotel? All right, we're trying to reestablish that connection with Diana. So Becky Anderson, CNN correspondent who is based in that region, she's in Dubai. They're on the ground. Becky, what are you hearing? We do understand Dubai officials are saying 14 reported injuries.
That's right, 14 people they say, have sustained minor injuries in this fire that broke out at the Address Hotel on the 20th floor in downtown Dubai, very close to, as you rightly point out, the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, and where the fireworks are due to take place here in Dubai in about 20 minutes' time. We believe 14 people sustaining minor injuries, one described as having a medium injury, and one person who appears to have suffered a heart attack as a result of what would have been overcrowding and the engulfing of the smoke at the time. Now, I have to say, we've been speaking to authorities here. They say they've now got 90% of that fire under control. And as I pointed out about a half hour ago, there are some 4 fire trucks or 4 fire teams working this fire, which has been now ongoing for about 2 hours' time. 9:35 local time was when the fire was first alerted. And I have to say, I mean, I was at a hotel not far away, and I heard people at the table beside me talking about it, and very, very quickly, it has to be said, this fire looked particularly bad. But as I say now, authorities telling us 90% of this fire, at least now under control within the building. 14 people sustaining minor injuries, one slightly worse, and one heart attack. And as you've been pointing out, the firework display is still due to go ahead in about 20 minutes' time. You were asking the eyewitness that you were speaking to just a moment or so ago about the crowding in Dubai. I was actually very surprised tonight. We're also always warned about coming down into Dubai and just how bad the traffic will be around what is an enormous event for the UAE. Do remember, aside from sort of Times Square, Sydney and London, this is one of the biggest firework displays in the world. And in fact, it was the biggest a couple of years ago. So there are an awful lot of people who will be here out to celebrate this. But the roads were very, very clear. It's been very well organised this year in Dubai. It was very easy to get through. There will be thousands of people around the Burj Khalifa and the Address Hotel, as there will be thousands of people in other places like the Maiden Race Course and around the Burj Al Arab tonight. But as things stand at present, with 20 minutes to go, these fireworks will go ahead. And clearly a more sombre atmosphere this evening as a result of what has happened. But authorities say they do now have this under control.
Oh, wow. So, Becky, indeed, the reporting is extraordinary that officials feel very confident, 90% contained for this blaze that happened about 2 hours ago. You're reminding us, for those who are just now joining us, the Address Hotel is on fire in downtown Dubai. And this is just across the lake from the Burj Khalifa, which is that extraordinary building, the world's tallest building, where everyone remembers seeing the fireworks display, the fireworks shooting from the sides of the building. You can recall this over years' time. You know that was to happen again. Now we're really at 18 minutes and counting. Officials are saying that this show is still going to take place, even though the backdrop is going to be the Address Hotel, which also is a residence. It's a shopping mall. There are restaurants. It is engulfed in flames. And extraordinary, Becky, to hear officials say right now 14 reported injuries, and that the evacuations have been very well orchestrated, that according to some of the eyewitnesses.
Yeah, and I think those eyewitnesses are spot on. This has been unfortunately, a terrible event, but the aftermath very well organised. As I say, 14 minor injuries, one described as medium, and one person sadly suffering a heart attack as a result of this fire, which we believe broke out in one of the rooms on the 20th floor of this hotel. And as you point out, this is a 5-star hotel, but it's mixed complex. This is a hotel and residential compound. It's 63 stories, Frederica. It's got 196 rooms and 626 serviced apartments. And as according to one source at the airport that we spoke to a little earlier on, this was a hotel that was hotels full tonight, as are many of the hotels in Dubai. This is a big event, New Year's Eve. It was a beautiful day. It was 29 degrees today in the UAE. That's sort of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a place that people come to enjoy themselves over New Year, to get a bit of a suntan, play golf, and get to see these fireworks. So, you know, authorities saying that the show will go on with 17 minutes to go. And as we've been pointing out, with the fire now, as they point out, some 90% under control, despite what the pictures may now be reflecting. When they say it's under control, it's what's going on, of course, within the body of the hotel. They said that the show at this stage will go on.
Okay. Thank you so much. Becky Anderson, we're going to check back with you. Let's bring in Diana.